Since its inception, Israel has lived in a perpetual state of war. The 1948 war, the Nakba for Palestinians, displaced some 750,000 people, creating a refugee crisis that persists today. Israel was established on the ruins of Palestine, helped by armed Jewish terror groups that fought against the British and Palestinians. 8 years later, in 1956, Israel joined Britain and France in attacking Egypt. Then came the 1967 occupation of the West Bank and Gaza, followed by repeated wars in Lebanon and Gaza, and now again against Iran. Across the region, many argue that Israel's borders, politics, and identity have been shaped by conflict, and that war has become a governing strategy rather than a last resort.
Basically, Israel lives as a colonial and apartheid state, lives on conflict, lives on apartheid, thrives unfortunately with genocide, and this is a main reason why Israel keeps going into wars and uprisings and keeps in conflict all the time.
Wars driven by hubris, military might, unconditional US support, and impunity. But Israel insists it's responding to threats. Threats it says no country could tolerate.
Israel often says it is forced to live by the sword, but its frequent wars are also driven by power, confidence in its military strength, and a belief that force can solve problems, to the point where it sees itself as a hammer striking every nail in its path. Much of this stems from the inflated egos of its leaders.
And Palestinians say as long as Israeli occupation endures and its military force dominates diplomacy, the region remains locked in a cycle of conflict.
Israeli governments usually say we don't have Arab partners or Palestinian partner. In fact, the problem that today there is no Israeli partner for any peace. No, all the world will agree and will tell you that government of Netanyahu, Smotrich, Ben Gvir is not government of peace. This is the most racist government in Israel history since the 1948.
Over the decades, Israel has relied heavily on targeted killings as part of its security strategy, with its intelligence service Mossad agency carrying out thousands of covert operations worldwide against Palestinians, including politicians, journalists, artists, academics, and doctors, often alongside their families. And now, as Israeli jets strike Iranian targets and Iran vows retaliation, the Middle East braces for a conflict that could reshape the region once again. For many, the question is whether Israel can ever break from a history defined and repeatedly justified by war. Mohammad Al-Kassim, TRT World, Tel Aviv.